This is an IELTS sample answer. Keep practicing to build confidence. To try a mock test with these questions, watch our mock test video. The link to the PDF document is in the first comment. Want to improve your IELTS writing skills? Check out our new IELTS writing channel. Let's begin by discussing about colors. What is your favorite color?
I really like blue because it feels calming and reminds me of the sea and sky. It's also a color that looks good in different shades, so I often choose blue for clothes and decorations.
Are there any colors that have a special meaning in your culture?
Yes, red is very significant because it symbolizes luck and celebration. It's often used in festivals and weddings. People believe wearing red can bring good fortune and positive energy in important events.
What color of clothes do you like to wear?
I prefer neutral colors like black, gray, and navy blue. They're easy to match with different outfits and look stylish. Also, darker colors don't get dirty easily, which makes them practical for everyday wear.
Are there any colors that you don't like? Why?
I'm not a fan of bright yellow because it feels too loud and doesn't suit my style. It's a cheerful color, but I find it overwhelming, especially for clothes or home decorations.
Do you think colors can affect your mood?
Yes, definitely. Bright colors like yellow or orange can feel energetic and cheerful, while darker shades like gray may feel dull. Soft colors, such as light blue or green, often create a relaxing and peaceful atmosphere.
That's the end of part 1. Now we are going to move to part 2. In this part, you will have 1 minute to prepare and then speak up to 2 minutes. Describe a challenge you faced that you thought was rather difficult. You should say what it was, when and where you faced it, why you thought it was a difficult challenge, and explain how you felt at the time.
A difficult challenge I faced was learning to drive. It happened a few years ago when I was living in my hometown. I had always been a bit nervous about driving, but I knew it was an important skill to have. My biggest struggle was with parallel parking. No matter how much I practiced, I kept making mistakes, which really knocked my confidence. What made it even harder was the pressure of the driving test. I had already failed once, and the thought of failing again made me feel really anxious. My instructor was patient, but I could tell I was overthinking things. My hands would get sweaty, and I'd sometimes panic when I had to make quick decisions on the road. It felt like I'd never get the hang of it. After failing the test the first time, I took a step back and tried to stay calm. I started practicing more regularly and focused on staying relaxed behind the wheel. I also asked my instructor for extra tips on parallel parking, which helped a lot. On my second try, I managed to stay focused and pass the test. That moment was such a huge relief. Looking back, it taught me that staying calm and persistent is key when facing challenges. I realized that mistakes are part of the learning process, and sometimes you just need to give yourself time to improve. Passing the test gave me a real sense of achievement and boosted my confidence.
That's the end of part 2. Now we are going to move on to part 3. We'll continue discussing the topic of challenges. What do children often do when they face a challenge?
Kids react in different ways depending on their personality and upbringing. Some ask parents or teachers for help, while others try to figure things out on their own. For example, a child struggling with maths homework might ask for guidance, while another might keep trying different methods until they get it right.
Do most people choose to face a challenge alone or with others?
It really depends on the person and the situation. Some prefer tackling problems alone to prove they can handle them, while others feel more comfortable asking for support. For instance, someone stuck on a tough work project might brainstorm with colleagues, but a student revising for an exam might focus better when studying solo.
What challenges would people face when learning new sports?
Starting a new sport can be tricky. Some struggle with coordination and fitness, while others worry about getting injured or feeling embarrassed. For example, learning to swim can be tough for someone afraid of deep water, and mastering tennis takes patience to improve footwork, quick reactions, and the ability to predict an opponent's moves.
Do you think modern life presents more or fewer challenges than in the past? Why?
Life today is easier in some ways, but harder in others. Technology helps with daily tasks, but people now deal with stress from fast paced lifestyles and social pressure. For example, physical labor was more demanding in the past, but today, many struggle with digital overload, high work expectations, and maintaining an online image.
How can schools and workplaces help people handle challenges better?
They can teach useful skills and offer support. Schools can help students build resilience, while workplaces can provide mentoring and teamwork opportunities. For example, leadership workshops at work or mindfulness sessions at school can help people stay calm, gain confidence, and develop better problem solving skills when facing difficulties.
That's the end of the speaking test. Good job.